What's going on, guys? My name is Noah, YouTube name NOJMP, and let me just check my calendar real quick, and it looks like I haven't uploaded something in about 4 years. I'm sorry about that. Well, anyway, today I decided to make a video. Part of the reason was because I made some Generation 5 battles public and, gave me a little bit of inspiration again. What I would love from you guys is, I'm going to be showing you 2 Pokemon Showdown battles. You're more than welcome to watch, but I would really love if you guys can comment down below. Tell me why you're still subscribed to this channel. And just tell me how's it going. I'd love to have a conversation with you guys. What I'm going to focus on for the first part of this video is just a little bit about what I think about this metagame, what I think about my team. I'm really not going to narrate the battle, and then I'm going to focus on to the title of this video. So the first thing that I noticed is that, there are very limited Pokemon available in this metagame right now. With that, Magnezone is so overpowered. I almost find it on every single team, which is why I play more of a counter type style. It's funny because during the Generation 4 when Platinum came out and Scizor got access to Bullet Punch, Magnezone was literally on every single team because with HP Fire and holding a Choice Scarf, it could counter, every Sandstorm team because they always had Scizor and Skarmory. So what I try to do is that I try to play more of a counter style. I really enjoy using a Choice Scarf Cortana based off of Joey Pokegame MD's recent Cortana moveset guide video, and I use Porygon too. I think it's a really great wall, especially when you want to set up Toxic on someone. And the Beasts and the Tapus are on every single team. I think this metagame is going to be so different when the Pokebank OU Pokemon are allowed. But until then, it's fun. I mean, I am so shoddy at this metagame. There's so much that I've really not known. So what you're going to see today are 2 battles that I had after my second day of getting back on Pokemon Showdown, and I'm very shoddy. So that's why I'm not even going to talk about it. It's just something that you can look at if you want to. And I think that's about all I'm going to say about this battle right here. I might come back to talk about the second battle in a little bit. But what I wanted to address is, of course, the title of this video, which is how competitive Pokemon battling has influenced my life, and how, well, what I want to start off by saying is how we are in this very weird age group. I'm 21 years old. I grew up with video games. People that are perhaps in their 30s that played Call of Duty and played other video games throughout their teenage years are now young adults, and yet video games has such a important role in their life. And this is different than someone who's maybe 50 years old. They didn't spend hours every single day playing Tetris. But those that are, young adults and older, they're going to continue playing video games because it's had such an important role in their life. I mean, it was such a big part of their childhood. And it has a different connotation now. It's not necessarily seen as a deviant personality, but people are able to make careers off of either competitive gaming or YouTube videos, which is astonishing. What I really love about competitive Pokemon is Cybertron BGC said this brilliantly in a speech that he uploaded that he gave at the end of his high school career. He talked about how competitive battling has aspects of chess, of poker, and of rock, paper, scissors. It's like chess because imagine you have to pick 6 pieces out of hundreds of unique pieces, and yet you have to move simultaneously with your opponent. You have to use predictions, which takes a whole lot of thought process. At the same time, you have to win 50-50s based off of luck and probability, and that has to do with the rock, paper, scissors. And with poker, there's an aspect of getting into your opponent's mind and having aspects about your team that your opponent doesn't know. You have to keep it separate from them. All of this together, you would think that how can this possibly be a childhood game or a game for children? And I think that's why Pokemon is so popular. I've grown up with a few YouTubers, or when I started doing YouTube about 7 years ago or 8 years ago. There are individuals that still upload today, like 6foot Hacks and Pokegame MD or Joey, and there are those that have uploaded less frequently or have disappeared, such as Elo and Tony Flygon and Rick Dangerous 36M. What a guy. always had good nicknames. And I feel like if you were to ask all these people how competitive battling has influenced them, it might not be. I think it's hard to articulate what you're trying to say, but I think it just has a really impactful influence on how people think. I think I'm in college right now, or university for those that are not in the U.S. I'm going on to medical school next year, and I think that it's influenced me because I'm able to think about how my actions now could have consequences in the future. And at the same time, I think it's also been really impactful because I'm able to understand how people that aren't me, like competitors or opponents or just other individuals, how they think, because I'm able to recognize patterns. When you play this game so much, you see patterns within teams, and you see how someone's playing style can be different than another person's. And I think good battlers are able to recognize all of these things. For example, I watch a lot of Joey's videos. He's able to understand someone's playstyle by watching their previous battles before he plays them in a tournament. But yet he adapts that. He has a game strategy, but he adapts that throughout the game. And I think that is a crucial life skill. I think video games have a very important role in today's culture. There was a study that showed that neurosurgeons that play video games do better on their surgeries than those that don't. It probably has to do with the first-person shooters and the ambidextrous and being more intricate with their hand motions. And I think these types of skills from those video games are very different than those from maybe competitive battling, where it's more of a thought-provoking type of video game. Aside from having access to alternate universes, I will never truly know how competitive battling has influenced me as a person. But I think it's almost like playing a sport as a child, when you understand that there has to be a winner and there has to be a loser at every point. And what's great about a video game like this is that it's very difficult to cheat. In fact, I don't think it's possible to cheat on Pokemon Showdown. For example, when you play on Wi-Fi, of course you can boost your EVs past the maximum if you're using PokeGen. I don't even know if that's around anymore. And video games such as Call of Duty, you might be able to hack the system and have a better ping than other individuals, and therefore you're going to perform better than them. But in a game like this, where it's just based off of strategy and you're playing, and timing really doesn't matter against the other individual, I think it teaches to gain credibility within the community. You have to be good. You can't just be a good narrator, and you can't just have good intentions. You have to perform well at this game. The final thing I want to touch on is that, throughout the last 8 years, there have been a lot of talk about the Pokemon community and why it's suffering and why it's dying. I think it's phenomenal that there is even a community to begin with. It's based off of this video game that should be for children, and it was marketed for children, and yet people made this a sport and a competitive task. I think that's phenomenal, and I think, again, going back to that alternate reality, I have no idea how Pokemon could have influenced my life if I never, started playing as a child. But when I went to my first Pokemon Pit tournament and I performed so well against people that were so much older than me and had so much more, subscribers on YouTube, which was a form of success back then, I thought to myself that me as a 13-year-old, I can still perform well against other individuals, and it's because of my intellectual ability. I would like to think that Pokemon has done so much more for me, and this video is only so long, so I'll keep on thinking of these things, and maybe I'll make a sequel to this video. But this video is about to end, so I'd like to thank everyone for watching. Thank you everyone for even clicking on this video. I don't know who's still alive out there. Please let me know if how Pokemon has influenced your life, and perhaps make a video on it. I would love to listen and get more people's opinions about this topic.